Good day, good evening, good afternoon, happy weekend. Today we're going to be doing an analysis on Cardano. We're going to start on the 90-day and work our way all the way down to the 5-day. All right. I'll link my previous analysis up at the top. It was pretty good. We caught, I think, an exit at 65 cents somewhere here in mid-March. 60, I'm guessing it's 65, maybe just shy of 70 cents. Pretty good analysis. And yeah, nuked it into the bottom side of those 12-hour Laplace distribution coins provided by Alpha Trading Tools. Took my long about 10 days ago, 7 days ago, roughly. Wanted to, I think I got in here at about 30 cents, 3100 or whatever, 31 cents, 30 cents. Happy with the results. We're up, is that 20%, 10%? Fuck. Okay, cool. Now, why am I a little bit bullish on Cardano when the 90-day is pointing down? Okay, 90-day over here, DLP, Alpha Trading Tools pushing down. Okay, long story short, hold. This is for each time frame. We're going to run it like this. Long story short, hold above 35 cents. General means already tried. Well, not this month. It dumped into it. Wants to try recover 44 cents. Recovers 44 cents, next target's 54 cents, next target's 72 cents, and there is liquidity building up on the 90-day at 93 cents. All right, it's about a 200x from my entry if we get up there, so I'll be pretty stoked with that. Now, I like to know the direction of the 90-day so that I don't have a hopium bull vibe about me, as I like to pretty much trade spot long. Okay, so we can see the 90 days mean reverting to the downside. 90-day mean reverting to the downside will have continuation if you start closing below 35 cents. Okay, closing below 35 cents, you carry on pushing to the downside. There's a little bit of a target here at 31 cents 52. I'm more than likely going to make sure I'm out of this trade by then. I'll take some profits. What's keeping me in this trade for the last like 7-10 days? The 21-day. So now, in order to keep this 90-day, like maybe put in like a bullish drive, a hidden bull div, a bull div, whatever you want to call it, however it forms eventually, is if Cardano can hold again this region here. These are obviously different time frames. It needs to hold above 34.67. Furthermore, to get this hidden drive of bull div on the RO, it needs to hold above 36 cents 22, which is pretty much where we're at right now. Okay. 45-day has 13 days to print. 90-day has 13 days to print. So there's a big market shift in the next 13 days. Like, there's going to be good pivot, good direction coming out of this, be it bullish or bearish. All right. Currently, I am voting bullish until the next 21-day open closes. This is 21-day. I'm pretty happy with these results. I caught it at just as it was starting to cross through this cross. So we are about 5 days into this. Happy days with the results that we have here. Volatility is in expansion mode. Next general target would be 38 cents 56 to 41 cent 50. And then there's a little bit of liquidity building here at about 50 cents. Okay, just shy of 50 cents. If you can break all those targets, you're up to 69 cents. Just call it 70 cents. An ultimate low for me on the 21-day would be catching Cardano at 19 cents flat, I would say. 19 cents 13 on Binance. Do I think that's going to happen? Not until the 16-day closes. We've got some good power coming off of this 21-day DLP, as that's going to push through. RO coming in with some hidden bull div, which backs this 45-day hidden bull div here. That cross, so that sinks in 13 days. 21 days sinks in 16 days. So as long as it stays at above this reverse wave tendy over here on both sides, 33 cents for the next 16 days, I do feel like it's going to carry on pushing through to the upside. Any failures below that 33 cents mark, I will obviously be out in profit. Okay, now what can we see here? We have the 14-day. 14-day is looking pretty good. Needs just a little bit of more juice in order to have this PC flick, or at least hold its positive phase. Currently it's 50-50. At least just a little bit more of a push in the next 9 days, 6 hours. More than likely try retrace to the top side of this previous 14-day candle, just shy of it, and that would kick that PC into pump mode on the 14-day. Hidden bull diffs coming off of here, a little bit squirrely. Above its mean, pushing through for another drive to the upside. Its general target would be about 42 cents, and if it gets the legs up into this liquidity zone here, building at 47 cents, 74. Matches up there, just shy. Matches up here, just shy. So I'm happy with those results. I'm liking the fact that the DLP's hit one of its limits, and we have this at a mean reverting phase, which means that this could get a little bit squirrely if it's able to hold this bullish posture, a little bit squirrely in here, and then try and push through, all right? So there is an opportunity for a second drive to at least try push it up into 65 cents if it holds this bullish posturing. 7-day is pretty much expansion and volatility was positively correlated. Starting to lose its correlation here. What can we see? Sorry, got two screens now. Starting to lose its correlation here. Any closes below 36 cents, 36. PC not going to have the legs. PC and volatility more than likely going to screw you over into a sideways range. What would I be looking for? Monday open. I would be looking, if it's still bullish over the weekend, I'm more than likely hoping that this random walk turns into a trend. So this is quite a cool little entropy indicator here, and it's going to tell you trend. Okay. Now you start holding above here, that can start curling around and start allowing for a push trend on that the 7-day to 40 cents. Okay, so we have hit a mean here. We still need to touch this ultimate power mean, which is sitting at about 48. By the time it prints, maybe in 2 days or whatever, it will be just shy of the same 47 cent target we're talking about. Mean reversion through, mean reversion through, mean reversion through. So this is smart bots, but the bots that are trading the direction of volatility, they're not fully convinced as of yet. All right. So if the smart bots have more liquidity or buying up the sell orders, well, then that will trigger the volatility bots to push it through. All right. As we said, failures below here is what we will be looking for. So failures below 36, I think it was on the previous one. So we'll keep it there at 36. Values below 36. I might do a quick scalp somewhere in here, halfway through. Where's this liquidity patch? All right, somewhere here. Okay, 34.62. Could have a little retrace here. I'm going to guess it could be a wick. I don't think the thing's going to close down there within the time frame. Okay. 5-day looking juicy. I'm happy days with this thing. Blew through the cone over here. Obviously, the rule is if it breaks outside of the cone, it wants to go to the other side of the cone. By the time it gets to 5 cents, I would make sure I'm not holding any fucking ADA. I'd be out of that situation. But a general observation here is if it can hold above these blue lines here at 32 cents, and furthermore, a zone of liquidity that's building at 38 cents. If we can hold above these two regions, then it does allow ADA to carry on kicking up. So before ADA fails, I would be looking for a target at about 38 cents. Okay, DLP bull divs coming through. That's not a hidden bull div. Yeah, that's a regular bull div. Bull div played through on the 5-day. Expansion and volatility. We sort of in a trend here. Sloppy chips sideways. Pretty cool. All right, 3-day. My plus distribution cone. This one is actually working very nicely. So long story short, you break outside of the cone, and what you want to see if you're going to be bullish long term. All right. Obviously, we got our scalp when we were breaking back into this cone pretty much. If you can hold above this pink line, these pink lines here, let me zoom in. If you can hold above these pink lines here at 33 cents, you're looking for continuation. All right. So the more ADA starts closing below here, I do know she's trying to target 26 cents, but furthermore, 23 cents, 23. All right, holding above 33.80, bullish to me. Looks like she tried to retrace in there. Candle closed quite well. Obviously, coming into the other side of a reverse wave tendy, as you can see on the higher term timeframes, we're hitting the mean of the reverse wave tendies on 2 other timeframes. Now we're hitting the top band on the reverse wave tendies here. Same goes for on the right. This will be a telling tail. We have this blue line coming in, this blue line coming in, which is a highly statistically significant probability level. Close above here, I would look for a touch to this liquidity zone here of 47 cents. Okay, why is it a liquidity zone? Well, we have a reverse wave tendy, topside band, crossing through the blue. That's time and price. So a lot of people can give you price, but not a lot of people can give you time. By that, on the 1 minute, I would say this thing wants to be rushing up there in about 3 candles time. On the 1 minute, I'm not going to say that for the 3-day, as that's obviously a rather big move to happen. But yep, so we have a zone of liquidity built here, and you carry on holding above this blue one. It naturally wants to go send itself here. You carry on holding above this pink one. Where does it want to do it? Just to the top side of the orange band over there on the far right to 49 cents. So there's a nice big range for ADA. Any failures below this pink line here, as I said, I'm looking for a mean reversion to 26, and more than likely somewhere down here. So 26 is the mean, and if it gets to 26 on the mean, I'd be looking for a quick wick to 24. Okay, 21 day is telling me it has the opportunity in the next 16 days to break out of this region. All these indicators looking pretty good. So this is another significant thing that I'd like to bring up. Let me make this big screen. Okay, now we're on the 24-hour. All right, when I was setting up the stream, I was lucky enough to notice that the 24-hour is actually wanting to print a new cone. We haven't had a 24-hour cone for a very, very, very long time, pretty much from the bottom here. And as you can see, when you have a whole bunch of green flashes, it means volatility is low and is looking to expand. So we know that there's going to be big variance in price action. All we got to do is guess the direction. All right. And if a majority of these higher term timeframes are saying up, RO, DLP, volatility, they're all pretty much pointing up. Well, I'm going to guess that it's going to try break to the upside. Okay. Let's get that back here. Then we'll go here, there, pull that back. Okay. So we have those green flashes. There we go. You can see them now. All in line. So we close at 36.11. It's going to be a shit show for ADA, right? There's maybe going to be a lot of people spoofed out of their orders, whatever it is, a lot of volatility to come into the book to double check this over here, what's happening. Now, general observation, if it carries on in this positive drift phase, which is volatility contracting, whilst PCs are both negatively correlated, I would be looking for a push to 38 cents. All right, trend is starting to form here. At least on the 24-hour time frame, I would be looking for a failure at this current zone of liquidity that will more than likely start triggering on Sunday. 35.67. Any closes below there, I'm more than likely gonna try to get out of this trade. Otherwise, I'm gonna just let my winners ride. Okay. So any closes below here, I do start to get cold feet, and I would more than likely strike just build the bag, DCA the bag at about 34 cents, 34 cents, 16. But furthermore, this zone of liquidity that's building to the downside here at 32 cents. So if there is a scalp for me to happen, I would really like to try and catch it down here at, just call it 33 cents by the time this is done. So we have that high side 47 liquidity that's crossing in those candlesticks. And then we have this on the 24-hour with some flashes happening. I would be surprised if it didn't try and retrace this. Given the 21-day and those high-term timeframes are looking quite strong, I'm just going to have to see for the next 2 or 3 days what the situation is here. All right. It's a little bit squirmish here, but even though RO is trying to mean revert to the downside, it's the only time that RO has matched the 90-day signal to the downside. Okay. Even though this thing's trying to mean revert to the downside, I know that it can actually try and hold itself there because we have positive drift. So those smart bots are currently in this. The smart RO bot is getting its ass handed to it by the volatility bots. All right. So they're selling into positive drift. Okay. So if the volatility bots are clever or have more volume, they will win this race. And that's usually what I bet on the most, is the direction of volatility. Well, I do. All right. And it's very nice when everything else matches up because we get big candles, either up or down. Okay. 12-hour, beautiful. The last 12-hour Laplace distribution cone we threw up worked like a gem. I'll link it up there somewhere. The previous video, pretty good shit. So, long story short, moral of the story is this is actually quite bullish. It came in, hit the top. Okay, let's super zoom this. It's the general understanding of trading this cone is like a Bollinger Band. If it hits the top side of the Bollinger Band first, like at the mean, volatility breaks out, hits the top side, you know it's going to be bearish. It's going to stretch deeper to the downside, okay? Which is actually not a bad thing, because when it starts to break outside of the cone, we know that what happens on the one side has to happen on the other, okay? So it hit the top of the cone, broke down, completely getting crushed by these blue lines, slip and slide, slip and slide, slip and slide, all the way through here, back into our pink, tried a mean revert, smashed down, came up here. I think this was the good news on some ADA updates or some shit. That's what broke it above the blue line was news. This is it retracing that news. And as you can see now, things are starting to get a little bit clearer. Hold above this region here, which is the other side of the reverse wave tendy, Laplace distribution cone, we're off to the races. So any breakouts above 36.91, my next immediate targets, obviously these here, 38.50, 40, 30, 42, but most importantly, I'd be looking for 44 cents. Furthermore, I'd be looking at about 46 cents for a mean reversion play. And because it broke this side of the cone, I would be looking for a push to the upside, to the top side of the cone. So this is sort of why I'm hanging on to this trade for the last 10 days. I've got a good entry down here somewhere. 31, whatever I said, 30 cents to 31. So happy days. I'm looking for it to break through here at just call it 37 cents and go from these blue lines to those blue lines, right? 70 cents. And because it broke out of these over here, I'd be expecting it to at least try and touch like 80 cents. Yes, it's hopium, but I've watched this shit enough times to know how to trade it. Okay, now this is 12-hour Laplace distribution cone with skew. So the skew is from the data set, and this cone has a negative drift because it's pointing down. Now, nice range capturing here, as you can see that these lines kind of do shit. These colorful lines. Let's just turn those off. Reverse wave tendies off. We'll leave that one on. So there's a little bit of a range here. The only time this thing is going to be allowed to actually break out, at least under negative skew, is if the higher term time frames are bullish, which they are. And if it can get above 36.31, if we can get above 36.31, I would maybe guess by about the 16th to the 18th of September, that this target now becomes quantified at 42 cents. All right. Big things for ADA here. As you can see, this can form quite a nice range, being stuck between the two pinks. Your brain will look for patterns, but it can cause quite a nice little range. Failures here, I would be looking for a touch at 34 cents or 33.90. Furthermore, back down into 31 cents 80, because that's its mean. That's its safety zone. Let's just go have a look at the direction of volatility to see if it does have the legs. This is the 12-hour. 12-hour is an expansion mode, all right? Is an expansion mode with a trend forming. Now, the only way this trend is going to carry on to the upside on the 12-hour is if it closes above 36.31. Whew. Okay, 6 hours not really going to help that there. This is in a sneaky dump mode without the trend, though. More than likely trying to look for another touch here at 35.38. I think that was our 7-day or 3-day liquidity zone. Hold above there. Can try and push up to the upside. DLP's negative. RO has a normal drive of bear coming through. It more than likely tries to slide this thing hardcore going into Saturday morning open, trying to push itself down here to like 35.38. Okay, 3 hour after today's pump. This is quite a nice 3 hour candle, I'm not going to lie. big enough to trip this thing into positive drift. All right, this might be quite range bound, as it's going to try push above this pink line here on whatever we were looking at, that one. As it's going to try push above the pink line there, holds above that pink line. On the 12 hour, it's going to try push for 36. All right, so that's a 3 hour, nice little trip up, hold above 35.84 for about 2 extra candles, so for about another 6 hours. Can look for an opportunity to push to the upside, fail this region. We've got a zone of liquidity here at 34.81 building on the 3 hour. 90 minute, pretty much bearish. I should actually start to scalp that. Obviously, I don't know if I want to start touching trades right now. I'm happy with where I am. 90 minute pushing to the downside. Any hopium is 35.74. Close above 35.74. Can hold it. Next hopium wick for the bears or the bulls if you're hopium long. Close above 35.40 to the upside. Close below 35.40 to the downside. And 45 minute. Mean reverting down. I would have expected bigger candles. We do have DLP trying to actually extendo mundo to the downside here. Let's go have a look at our VREs. Where's our VRE? Our daily VRE is pretty much now coming into play. So you'll see here when I turn it on, zone of liquidity. Okay, zone of liquidity is built there. Could make for a very good scalp. I'll actually watch this whilst this video is uploading. 35.61, which is just below the daily VRE mean reversion point. Furthermore, you start falling out of these ranges. There is a mean down here that sort of got front run, a reverse wave tendency mean. Okay, now I would want. See, I'm getting the vibes that the positive drift and the expansion on the higher term timeframes are allowing for higher lows. So that starts to build bull devs. All right. And that would be confirmed for me if we're holding this, just call it 36 cent region. I actually have to be very precise because now we're getting on low term time frames. 35.92. If we're holding above 35.92 and when this prints, you guys might not see it, so just call it 36. I still do look for a push to the upside. Tomorrow there will be a retrace, more than likely back into this region, as that's where the daily VRE will be if this price action closes here. Now you can see the reverse wave tendency is working quite well, at least on the 15 minute. Comes from one reverse wave tendency in, wants to touch the other side and bounce, and then try hold the mean, fails the mean, back break down, holds the mean, wants to push back to the upside. 15 minute is 3 or 4 units away from being in a pump mode. DLP is pointing down, RO is pointing up. So this is that sideways dirty mode where you really need to know what's going on the higher term time frames, all right? Whereas that 6 hour, I think that 6 hour was the one. So we start failing this 15 minute region. We start failing here, wherever it is, just call it from 35.96. We start failing there, then that will allow the 6 hour to pretty much run amok and hammer the bulls. Sorry. What do we got here? We've got a 5 minute 50-50, hold this mean, nice bounce at the mean, and hasn't been holding down there for too long. Pretty good. Perfect. They're just trying to keep it above, they're just trying to keep it in the data set. So there is something forming here for ADA, and we're going to watch that 24 hour. I would really like this 24 hour cone to print, as that will give us some serious targets. Let me take this thing off screen so that I can adjust it. We'll just do, I don't even know if I can adjust it. Hey, come on, man. All right, I'm just going to take it off screen so no one can steal my numbers. I'll put it on 0, I think, or 1. It would have to be 1. It should be on 0. Hurry up. So it's on 1. That's this actual exact current candle. And then I'll bring it back. And you on 1. And then if it holds here, cool, everybody's set. This is quite cool. So this is, hey, you can go there, but I need you. No, okay, fine. We'll just make you big and then we'll exit you. So these are the levels that the 1 day can push to. Fuck's sakes. Oh, man. Why do you have to do me dirty like that? And it's gone. And it's gone. Load. Load. Computer is getting work today. Okay, doesn't really matter. Anyway, I will maybe post those on the comment on X. All right. That's a pretty interesting target thing there that's building. I'm so disappointed it's not going to load. Anyway, good analysis for ADA. Long story short, we're going to use this 12-hour cone. Hold above here. We do look for some serious upside. Goes for both sides of the cone. All right. Goes for both sides of the cone. Let's see who's got confluence. Outside of this cone on the top right with skew is 54 cents, which is just above this Laplace distribution, highly statistically significant probability level. All right, fancy talk. If you guys found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe. I'll be doing XRP tomorrow or VChain. And if you have any other shitcoin recommendations, please drop them in the comments section below. And yeah, long story short, if you'd like access to these tools, you'll see the link to the Discord below. It's called Alpha Trading. You can sign up there. Send the gents a ticket, a submission ticket, a helpline ticket saying, help, I need to change my life from trading technical analysis and drawing patterns and head and shoulders shit on my charts. I need access to some world-class trading tools. You will get about 3 or 4 tools. One of them has a direction predictor, which is way better than an RSI and a stochastic. So yeah, you guys can have a looky there. You'll get another tool that helps you read the direction of volatility. So a volatility tool, and we'll teach you how to program the Pearson correlation to the AVP, alpha volatility percentile. And then you'll start to learn about 6 rules. I call them laws. You'll learn 6 rules. And once you guys start understanding that stuff, trading becomes a lot easier. It's going to be a little bit of a hard learning session for you, but that's why it's free. And once you guys have mastered that, you can have 2 weeks free with Alpha Trading tools, the ones you're pretty much seeing here. We have like 50 or 60 tools. You'll get a 2-week free trial, but we got to see that you understand the direction of volatility first before you play that game. We don't need your money. We make our money on our charts, but we are here to save one trader at a time. Thank you so much. African Crypto Warlord out. Pow pow, stay fucking wow.